A man has been arrested in connection with a series of arson attacks in Wisbech. Several historic buildings have been badly damaged over the last few weeks.
Residents in Wisbech are in shock. 5 fires in 4 weeks, all started deliberately. Today, police handed out leaflets offering security advice. The Crime Buster bus parked in the town centre, open to anyone with concerns.
It's not just the damage to the fabric of the buildings that's concerning all of us in Fendon at the moment. What concerns me that if this continues, we could be faced with, serious injury or even a loss of life. Not just the passing public or property owners, but the fire service as well.
Several historic buildings have been destroyed by the fires. The Phoenix Hotel, a listed building on the town's north brink, is now a shell and will have to be pulled down. Owners of nearby properties are worried they too could be targeted. At Peckover House, they've increased security.
What we have been doing is taking advice from the fire brigade and the police. They've advised us just to up our security measures, just be more careful and be more vigilant around the property, doing night checks and in the mornings just do a perimeter check of the property.
And police say that message about vigilance is one for all property owners in the town. Officers are appealing for witnesses. A man in his 30s has been arrested. Faye Southwell, BBC Look East, Wisbech.
A man's been arrested on suspicion of raping a woman in her 70s. The pensioner was attacked on a footpath between London Road and the New Hall Estate in Harlow on Tuesday. The 43-year-old man from Bishop Stortford is being questioned by police. A driver has died following a crash on the A12 near Colchester. Essex police say the 35-year-old was taken ill at the wheel while travelling on the southbound carriageway. His car hit a post. A woman passenger was unhurt. A sandwich shop owner from Norwich has appeared at the Old Bailey to deny double murder. John Moody pleaded not guilty to killing Kenneth Snell and Karen Brown. The couple were found dead in Cringleford in October last year. The trial will be held at Norwich Crown Court in August.
A man from Norfolk whose brother was killed in an accident with a German lorry has lodged a complaint with the European Union. Robert Gonzalez was driving on the M26 in Kent when he hit the lorry, which had stopped in the fast lane. The family is critical of the time it's taken to bring Herbert Glaser to court.
And the whole point of the European arrest warrant was to speed up extradition between member countries of the EU. And here we are, some 5 years after the actual event of the death, still only just having got closure.
Asparagus growers in the region are suffering because of the cold weather. The recent night frosts have damaged the tender spears and yield is a quarter of what it would normally be.
Portwood Asparagus in Norfolk. It looks busy enough in the pack room where the asparagus spears are washed, trimmed, sorted and bundled, but the cold store tells a different story. In a normal year, this would be full of crates waiting to be taken to the supermarkets. It's all down to the cold weather.
This year we have very cold spring and I don't know what we do because we don't have too much work here, maybe a couple of hours per day. We need good weather. If we don't have good weather, we don't have work.
The crop relies on warm soils to stimulate bud growth underground. With cold weather, it simply doesn't stimulate the bud growth. It grows very slowly. A spear, which we would expect to grow in maybe 3 to 4 days, is maybe taking 10 days to grow. We're only cutting maybe 1.5 tons a day when we should be doing probably 5 or 6.
It's not just that there's less growing. The spears are bent by the cold wind, and the supermarkets don't like bent asparagus. Overnight frost, though, reduces the shelf life.
You can see here in this dark part is where the cold has got into it. It's not going to last as long. You put it in your fridge, it's going to break down quicker. It's like it has been frosted, and asparagus certainly doesn't like that.
But what's bad for the grower is actually good for the consumer. The slower growth makes the flavour more intense. John Halford, BBC Look East, Great Ellingham in Norfolk.
It's the FA Cup at Wembley tomorrow, the final. It's Chelsea against Portsmouth. But cast your mind back to August when the whole competition started. It was non-league Stanway Rovers from Essex who got the ball rolling.
OK, so the surroundings aren't glamorous. Average crowd, less than 100. The players aren't celebrities. They're certainly not millionaires. This is the Hawthorns, home to Stanway Rovers, and where this year's FA Cup adventure all began.
It sort of brings together the grassroots side of football with the professional side of football, which is why some years you do have that team that has made it into the first round proper or the third round proper, where, to be honest, most football fans have never heard of them.
Whether you're at Wembley or at Stanway, this walk in the Cup gets the heart racing. Rovers kicked off in August. To make it all the way, they'd have to get through 14 rounds and see off 699 other teams to make the final.
When we close down through the summer, we're all looking for August, and we're all looking to see, oh, who we got in the FA Cup, who we, you know, and that is really what it's all about. You know, it takes you through the summer, the FA Cup, because it's the first cup we're in anyway.
Move the ball. When Steve isn't taking charge of the first team, he's lecturing and coaching sports students at Colchester Institute. Tomorrow, he's a VIP guest at the Cup final to mark Stanway's important role in the competition.
Shoot! Football allows you to dream, regardless of what level we play in. And obviously, we start at the extra preliminary round. There's just that little bit of magic to it.
Rovers may never lift the trophy, but come tomorrow's final, remember, teams like Stanway make this competition so special. Tom Williams, BBC Look East.
The former Cranfield Mill on the waterfront in Ipswich has been crowned this year's winner of the Royal Institute of Chartered Surveyors East of England Awards. The new housing scheme scooped the much-coveted Project of the Year award. It also picked up the Regeneration Award. One of Britain's rarest seabirds has started to return to one of the region's beaches. The RSPB is putting up a fence at Great Yarmouth to protect Britain's largest colony of little terns. Every year, around 250 pairs make the journey from Africa.
Now, when a village